All right.
Here we
Rambling
go.
Hour.
Episode
Episode 2, but we have a new name. It's the Rambling Hour.
The Rambling
Instead
Hour.
of
I like
sports
that.
ramblings or anything like that. So that's what we went with. So, Mike, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you, John?
Can't complain. It's I'm a little confused after Thursday night, but I'm confused. I'm confused after, just watching this division and just watching, the NFC East and watching the Cowboys and the football team and all that other crap. So, but it's just how things are this year. And
Yeah,
I'm
man,
confused that, Clayton Kershaw pitched well in the playoffs. Obviously
Finally.
not surprised by it, but,
You wouldn't think you would be surprised by it, but
you know what I realized? So earlier this year, we saw the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. And the Chiefs have been notorious for choking. And choking in the playoffs and choking. And it's not just the Chiefs, it's Andy Reid.
yeah.
And that's why everybody wrote the Chiefs off. And, people were high on the Patriots. People were high on the Baltimore Ravens going in the playoffs. And here you go, Kansas City. Losing in all 3 games, let alone.
Down 10 in all 3 games.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and
My
they win the
homeboy.
Super Bowl. And so you have a team that was counted out and not taken seriously. That is very good. Goes ahead.
I think they're
and
definitely
wins.
taken more seriously right now than they were last year.
Who? Kansas City?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they won the Super Bowl. But how that connects to the LA Dodgers is weren't taken seriously.
Same kind of history.
Goes ahead and wins. And they were down in the NLCS. They were down 3-1 to Atlanta, which is another team and another city, let's say,
That blows
se.
leads.
that you can't really take seriously.
Yeah.
But is that the monk?
It's Ian.
Oh, it's Ian. Oh.
Yeah.
But it was just I'm happy for Clayton Kershaw. This is a guy that never pitched great in the playoffs. He didn't pitch outstanding, but he pitched good enough to win.
Yeah, he's pretty good in the World Series.
Yeah,
I saw his ERA was like 2.3.
Yeah, 2 starts.
Yeah,
2
wins.
Did good enough to win.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you saw Kevin Cash. So the Rays manager, Kevin Cash, pulled Blake Snell with 73 pitches, and guess how many hits he gave up?
How many?
2.
In Game 6?
Last night.
Oh, wow. Why would... I'm not even a baseball guy, and I know you don't...
Oh, yeah,
I know
yeah,
Blake Snell's Blake Snell's a
Cy Young
pitcher.
winner.
Yeah.
He's a Cy Young winning pitcher.
Yeah, and
he's been pitching well all throughout the playoffs.
Yeah.
And he was holding a top offense
to 2 hits.
To 2 hits.
How many innings did he go?
6. Or I believe it was in the 6th inning that they pulled him. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Analytics
having a good game.
Yeah, and I think analytics in baseball has kind of reached a breaking point. Because these managers, and I think baseball is obviously more stat driven than any other sport, but you go analytics to a point, and then there comes a moment where the gut kicks in, and then that's kind of the same, vice versa. I think your gut decisions and analytical decisions should be equally.
Yeah,
you should make decisions based on both.
Yeah,
or not one or the other.
Not one or the other. Weigh them equally.
Like if you've been going, like if you have a pitcher that has 73 pitches,
giving up 2
pitching
hits,
great against the top offense, you keep him in the game.
In the World Series, nonetheless.
In the World Series, in an elimination game.
Yeah, seriously. I don't understand that. There's like so many things that play into that where you're like, why are you doing this?
And I think it's also gotten to the point where, it's starting to draw people away. Because these managers are so impulsive, and I don't think it's the managers. A lot of it can be the front office bringing into the dugout and just saying, okay, put this guy in or put this guy in, and and that was something that they probably signed in their contract. I don't know, but it's gotten to the point, and I think this game needs to start. I think baseball is in just a shit. It's just a shit show right now. I'm glad
Yeah.
they got a season, but with the way that Manfred runs the league, with the way these managers are, with the way these teams are starting to be modeled, I think it's kind of a shit show. I think this could have been an easy 120 game season. Instead, they wanted to do 60
they had a
because they couldn't come out with a deal.
The Marlins early gave them like a little scare with COVID, but
yeah,
nothing. I didn't hear anything really.
I mean, you could have realistically started the season in June or mid-June.
No, probably not June.
Because, I mean, you could have started in a bubble. But yet, we didn't know much about COVID then, as much as we do now.
Yeah.
And, and it was still kind of...
When did the NBA season kick off?
So it's the NBA and the NHL started a week. It started a week, I think, late July, early August. Yeah. I remember it was a week after baseball started.
Yeah. So, I mean, 60 games doesn't really. It seems a little short. I think you probably want to shoot for more like 80 or 100, somewhere around that.
And that's the thing. Like, I think they could easily started the season
like half a season,
or you start the season, or you start your summer camp in mid-June, and then you kind of, start your season in early July.
When do you think the NBA season is going to start?
I think it's either going to be, it's going to probably be Martin Luther King Day. And as crazy as it sounds, I think a lot of that depends on the outcome of the election with the NBA.
Well, like if Biden wins, there will be no I feel like if Trump wins, it'll be pushed back.
I think if Trump wins, they'll start on Martin Luther King Day to make a point. And I think if Biden wins, they'll start on Christmas Day.
Yeah, that could kind of make sense.
Because the NBA is just, I mean, you can't argue. It's the most political. It's so political now.
Yeah, they're the most open about it.
They're the most political league.
Yeah.
In terms of the NHL, I think they're saying Christmas. I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention, but yeah. So right now, the only sport is the almighty sport going on. That is the NFL and college football. All eyes are on the NFL and college football.
Yeah, I mean, I think this NFL season's been going, every week it's someone shutting down the facility because of a positive test, but they're playing the games.
We're at the point now, and I think with the way, you saw baseball finish the season. You saw the NBA finish the season.
You got to finish it.
You can do it.
Yeah.
If you have to go, and I'm telling you, I've been saying this. I mean, I've been saying this. The NFL is not going to stop. They have a backup plan.
There's too much money for them to not have a plan for every
the worst case scenario is they go to a bubble.
Yeah.
It's all because of money. This is the time of year where everybody buys into football. Everybody. Sundays are holidays. You watch football. You watch Red Zone. You watch your team. You watch the Sunday night game while freaking out about homework.
I think going into November is September and October is kind of like baseball a little bit. But when you hit November, that's real. That's like really football season.
Now even it's all about the NFL. The NFL owns sports now. College football.
Yeah. Football is like the only...
Football owns sports.
Yeah.
Football owns sports. And what else is on?
Nothing right now.
No, you got to wait till tomorrow to get a sporting event.
Yeah.
A national sporting event.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Thursday night.
Who's it tomorrow? The Falcons and
Panthers.
Falcons and Panthers.
Who are you taking in that one? Panthers?
Probably.
Atlanta is just so confusing.
I mean,
they have so many pieces. Like their entire offense on paper looks so good. Their defense is
think
terrible.
They're going to be selling at the deadline and in the offseason.
Yeah.
I think Matt Ryan, and it's kind of sad to see a guy like Matt Ryan, who's been around forever.
You think they're going to trade Matt Ryan?
I think they'll probably hold on to him, but it's the time. The clock's going to run out.
They'll probably trade some people. I saw they're shopping Takk McKinley.
The clock's going to run out on Matt Ryan because you figure the next couple of years is going to be for a rebuild, and you can't predict what's going to happen with him because how long has he been in the league for?
Yeah, he's been around.
I mean, outside of Roethlisberger and Rivers, and Breeze, he's probably one of the older guys in the league.
Oh yeah, he definitely. I think he's like 35.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's definitely getting up there, and they're not in a position where, like a 35-year-old quarterback is gonna they're not winning games. They're not winning games.
And the sad part is, Matt Ryan had a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
he had a Super Bowl.
He had it won.
He had a Super Bowl won.
Shanahan
and his coach prevented him from winning it, which is the sad part.
They lost on an accidental touchdown last week.
I mean, that
was the most Atlanta way to lose possible. You accidentally score and give your opponent time to go down the field and win the game, and they did.
And it's
vintage.
I mean, to be honest with you, I could not imagine being a sports fan in that city. I could not imagine being a sports fan in that city because
all of them,
you have the Braves.
Braves are going to win, I think, at least like a ring or two in the next couple of years.
I think they're in the best shape, obviously.
Yeah.
You got to take into account the Georgia Bulldogs, who are always a very good team. Obviously, I mean, but here's the thing. The problem with them is they play in the SEC. They play against Alabama.
Yeah.
Down the road, LSU is going to get better. So they have them. It's going to be tough for the Bulldogs. I mean, they had a national championship one.
And then
against Alabama.
Was that Tua? Was that when Tua?
That was the Tua game. That was the Tua game. And Jalen Hurts came out of the game. They put Tua in, and
Jalen Hurts.
I mean, it's just I don't understand. I really don't understand how a city can be like that.
Yeah.
And how you can deal with that as a fucking sports fan. Like, it's one thing to be a Mets and Jets fan or a Cleveland fan, but
no expectations.
Yeah, but just to be at that moment and then just have it crushed in 2 straight years with the Bulldogs and the Falcons.
And then the Braves just blew a 3-1 lead.
Yeah. And they had it too. And the Braves had, to be honest with you, the Braves probably had a better 1-2 punch in this year's playoffs with Fried and Anderson. Who I don't know if you know, they were top. I mean, Max Fried was a top. He was top in ERA. He was one of the top guys in ERA.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a baseball dude, but I know they got a lot of guys on that roster.
Yeah.
They're going to be good for a while. And they're all like young.
And Ronald Acuna, and you have the star power with Acuna.
Yeah.
And Freeman had a great year.
Yeah. Is he going to they haven't done MLB like MVP voting yet, have they?
They have not.
Okay.
But you can make predictions and everything.
I wouldn't even really know.
Yeah, I definitely think that Shane Bieber might win the AL Cy Young, but I don't know. Who knows, man? And you got to understand, I mean, people are always going to, I mean, this year, it's going to be a year where people kind of discredit those things because it was a 60-game season.
Mm-hmm.
And rightfully so, but at the same time, these guys were geared to play 162 and 60, if you know what I mean.
Mm.
So,
it wasn't like, it's not their fault.
No.
They couldn't control that.
No. So, Sunday night,
back-to-back
our beloved football team plays
Another
The Dallas Cowboys.
We should kick the shit out of them. Worst defense in football by a mile. Ben DiNucci at QB. Where did he go?
James Madison. They're a D1 school, I think, though. I think they're a D1 football team. But D1 FCS, probably.
Yeah. We should win by 4 scores.
Do you want to hear something crazy?
What?
The Steelers, who are the last undefeated team remaining in the NFL, guess where they're playing?
Where? Where are they playing?
Baltimore.
Yeah.
Do you want to know the time of that game?
Is that a 1 o'clock game?
1 o'clock.
But then you got this
The
game.
Sunday night game is Shitball Central at Lincoln Financial Field.
Oh, my God.
That's your Sunday night game. Now, I'm not disagreeing with the fact that the Eagles-Cowboys should be
a Sunday night game.
not a nationally televised game.
Yeah.
I mean, the product on the field is nowhere close to being should be close to being.
It's the rivalry is the only thing that keeps that.
It's the rivalry and it's the Cowboy draw. That's it.
That's it. And the Cowboys are losing their draw very quickly.
Oh yeah.
Because they're off. Are they? What's the standings in the NFC East right now?
The Dallas Cowboys have 1 win. It's us.
Second.
Washington,
Giants?
I think.
Washington. Oh yeah, Washington.
Because I think they have 2 wins, and then you have the Giants, and then you have the Cowboys.
Because the Giants beat the Cowboys. Who did the Cowboys beat? Oh, Atlanta.
They beat Atlanta, and that was a game given to them.
Oh yeah, they shouldn't have won that game.
So realistically, the Cowboys
should they have won that game. They should have 0 wins.
The 2 worst teams in this division should be winless.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Washington's the second best team? I think we're the best team in the division by default. Like, it's not saying anything that we're the best team in the NFC East, but I think we are.
Yeah, but I can see Washington being a threat to us just because of their defensive front.
It's so good.
And having them, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I think the Eagles, and I think everyone's going to call me crazy here. Just kind of sitting back and thinking about, what this team can do.
Mm-hmm.
With the exception of the Rams game, all 4 of their losses, have been, or the other 3 losses, have been winnable.
I don't know about
they can contend. They can contend.
Yeah, the games they haven't been like complete and utter blowouts.
Like the Pittsburgh game.
We're in the game at one point.
We could have won. We could have beat Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think there were chances, but didn't capitalize.
The Baltimore game.
Again.
I think if Miles Sanders catches that touchdown, that's a whole different game.
Yeah.
And then Washington,
you had a lead.
You had a 17-0 lead. And we discussed this last week about Washington. 17-0 is not a fun score to be an Eagles.
No.
To be for the Eagles, But yeah, I mean, looking at this Sunday, they have no reason to not blow this team out.
They
have no fucking reason.
It should be 38-14.
Although I see this game can be close. I think this can be close. Because I think the Eagles play down to their opponents. We are hills and valleys better than the New York Giants. We are significantly better, in my opinion, than the Cincinnati Bengals, yet we managed to tie. Okay?
Yeah.
I
don't know if it's playing down to the opponent, but I think we go into the game. It's Doug. Doug is the biggest issue.
Oh yeah, that's why. That's exactly why.
Doug's 100% the biggest issue.
That's exactly why. And you can't tell me, like, okay,
he coaches
you're playing
not
the Giants.
to lose. He's a pussy.
Yeah, you're playing the Giants, okay? They have nothing crazy. They have nothing to hang their hat on except the fact that they beat Washington. I mean, to be honest with you, they should be thinking about getting that number 1 overall pick from the Jets and getting
Giants.
Trevor Lawrence, because Trevor Lawrence might fit in there better because at least he has weapons. And fucking give up on Daniel Jones. I see nothing good in Daniel Jones. But anyway, back to the point. How are you going to tell me now? How are you going to tell me? Yeah, you don't have an offensive line. Yeah, your offensive line looks like shit. Okay? But you failed to game plan with a bad offensive line.
Yeah.
Okay?
You know the guys you're throwing out there.
You know the guys you're throwing out there. The first drive was the best drive of the night. It was quick throws. You got to get Carson the ball out quick. You know, maybe a little delayed handoff here and there, whatever. And then bam. That game should have been – we should have won that game by 3 possessions.
Yeah, like on paper, that's a game we win easily, handily.
Yeah, but because it's Eagles-Giants, because, you know, we are always – I mean, I don't understand how we just fucking beat this team every time when in reality –
we just end up winning every time.
And that just shows you how bad the Giants are.
Every team in this division is bad. Like, really bad.
But anyway, like, I just, like, after that game last night, I felt like it was a loss. I really did. I felt like we lost.
We probably should have.
We should have. It was 21-10 with 5 minutes
left. Evan
left.
Ingram catches that ball, we lose.
We lost that game.
Evan Ingram. Right here. Ball right here.
But yeah, let's give credit where credit's due, and let's recognize
they did what they did. You know, they capitalized on mistakes. They did what they needed to do to win.
Let's recognize what we have in Carson Wentz. He showed a little urgency. A couple of scores.
It was a good game. He threw for a shit ton of yards.
Yeah.
Which he never really does. He's never a big yardage guy, but
to me, why do I feel like he always does that against the Giants? I feel like that's the only team he does that against.
Throw for like 300 plus.
No, we'll lead a game-winning drive. Or lead two drives to, you know, get ahead. Why is it only the Giants? Why couldn't it be Baltimore? Why couldn't it be Pittsburgh? Why couldn't it be the Bengals? Why couldn't it be the Cowboys? Or why can't it be
the way things go with Eagles Giants?
And I don't really know what's going to happen on Sunday. I really don't. I think we're going to win. But the question is, how much are we going to win by? And does this team pass the eye test? Now,
the Eagles, no.
Guess who we get back?
Yeah, we do get a lot of guys back this week.
We get Peters, which he'll be gone in 2 seconds.
Yeah, he'll be on the cart by the second quarter.
I think we're getting Sanders.
Good.
In my opinion, I think you got to get Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson's. I give him a rest.
Back, right?
Jalen Reagor. And I think he goes off. Because look, you're playing the worst pass.
Any game, this is the game.
This is the game where he's going to turn heads. Everyone's harping on Howie for picking Justin Jefferson. And yeah, obviously it was a better pick. It would have been the better pick right now.
This is the week. Dude, the Cowboys are like the team that you want your guys to play in fantasy now.
Yeah.
Because their offense or their defense is just so
it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. I just think Jalen Reagor is going to turn a lot of heads this week. I think this is the week that he's going to do it.
I could see potential for that.
And I've always said that Carson Wentz is so much better. And a lot of this has to do with the offensive line. But he's so much better when he drops back and he lets it fly.
What, deep balls?
Deep balls. Spread that fucking field.
Early in this season, he couldn't hit a deep ball to save his life, but lately he's been coming around
because he hasn't had the protection.
Yeah, he hasn't had protection, and he hasn't had any chemistry with the guys because they're just thrown in.
And if you have a guy like Fulgham, a guy like Ward, and a guy like Reagor,
I like that.
Fuck Alshon, fuck Deshaun, and you don't have Ertz playing, So he's not going to look to him on every read.
You get those three with Goddard. That's a good.
Goddard's coming back.
Is he?
Yeah, he should. I think he's. They said something about him today. I think he's going to be coming back. But I mean, you have those four. You have those four guys, Mike.
They're not big name dudes, but they get the job done. And Wentz likes them, and they seem like they've got chemistry. I mean, not Rager yet, but
not like Rager yet. But we're talking about Goddard. We're talking about Fulgham and Ward. These guys play football with the fire under their ass. I think Travis Fulgham with enough targets can be a top receiver in this league, or as good as a top receiver in this league. That's just me. I think it's a bold take, but I think if he can get targets, let's say if he gets Ertz targets, he can be good.
Oh yeah,
and that's a guy that Carson Wentz should be looking to. I mean, obviously, it's not good to look at one guy every play, but if there's a guy to look at every play, it's Travis Fulgham.
He's the best pass catcher we got on the team right now.
I think he has the most star power.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's really saying that much, but I think he could be. I think Greg Ward and him could be a really good, like 1-2 guy, like 1-2 punch.
And I think what everybody kind of fails to realize about the Eagles, I feel like this team isn't far off. If you give this team a good offensive line, we're talking about a one-loss football team right now.
If they were completely healthy, I think they probably have.
They're a one-loss team.
Like 4-5 wins.
They're a one-loss team. They're a 1-2-loss team.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't. I think you beat one of the two, Baltimore and Pittsburgh. You easily beat Washington. You still lose to the Rams, maybe. Mm-hmm. You beat the Bengals. Mm-hmm. You bowl through this division.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
easily. I mean, if the Cowboys stayed healthier, too, well, that defense is always that defense has been bad all year. It's just Dak, but
so what are you most comfortable with? What kind of what are you most what is the the margin of victory? The minimal margin of victory you think you would be comfortable?
3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns. I'd say 2. I go 2. I go a little light because, and this is the game that the Eagles, and you obviously can't take any game lightly. The divisional games are the most important games you play. Mm-hmm. But, this is a rookie quarter. This is a quarterback that I feel like everybody's down this team. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys, rightfully so. Their defense is awful. But you got to remember, they still have a top offensive line in football. They still have
they're banged up there a little bit.
They still have 4 good playmakers.
I think Zeke could still eat us up a little.
You still have Ezekiel Elliott. You still have Amari Cooper. You still have
Gallup.
Has Michael Gallup done anything? But he's always been.
He's been all right. I mean, it's a solid.
He's not bad. He's not. He's not horrible. They have CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, the dude's got if the guy is not great on Sunday, it's not due to lack of weapons. Yeah. It's probably going to be like confidence. I think you send pressure every single play.
And you got to stack the box. You hands down got to stack the box. I think the way they beat us.
Ben DiNucci beat you.
I mean, but here's the thing. Ben DiNucci's going to be looking to Cooper. So you got to make sure you have Cooper. And then the problem is, people fail to realize this offense can still do stuff. This offense is not an offense to take away.
Dak was going to throw for 17,000 yards this year.
If Dak Prescott played in this game, it would be a massacre.
I think we'd probably get our asses kicked.
It would be a massacre.
Yeah, but Ben DiNucci is not even Andy Dalton. What that hit was.
In all fairness, he had 3 throws.
Who?
Ben DiNucci. Yeah, he was 2 for 3 for 39 yards. Not enough, but I just want to. I mean,
twice, I think too.
Yeah, and that's the Cowboys. That's the Cowboys. There's no reason why we don't win this game.
None at all.
If we win this game, if we don't win this game, And I hate to sound like
if we don't win this game, I won't
bipolar.
watch another fucking Eagles game all year.
Oh, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. And if we lose this game, I'm gonna sound like every other bipolar Eagles fan.
Fire Doug.
Just fucking tank. Tank, fire Doug. Just throw it all out. And the scary part is they would still be
winning the division.
Top in the division.
Football team. Who's football team play this week? Oh, they're on bye.
The Giants play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
They're gonna get rolled.
Dude, I love what I'm seeing out of Tom Brady.
He's been like really good.
And
like way
a lot
better
of that
than I thought he was gonna be. Yeah, I didn't think he was gonna be, like MVP.
I thought him and Bruce Arians was a great combination.
And now they just got AB.
That's a 4-week experiment. He's done after 4 weeks. He's not lasting there. If he's on his
you're very just you saying that is very justifiable and like very understandable why you would think that.
Yeah. But
I don't know.
AB needs a fucking behavior chart. Like you remember how they had them in elementary school? That's what AB needs. He needs a fucking behavior chart.
Arians told him, he said it was like be a team player or be gone.
Yeah. And he's
they
right.
They don't care. They don't need him.
No.
They just wanted him. Antonio Brown doesn't hold any leverage here. He held leverage in Oakland.
Yeah.
He didn't. He fucked around and got cut instantly. If he fucks around here, he's gonna get cut instantly.
Yeah, no one wants to deal with it. No, and it can ruin chemistry too.
Oh God, yeah.
So do you see the Tampa
in the locker room?
Do you see Tampa Bay winning that division?
No, New Orleans.
New Orleans?
I think. Well, it depends on what Michael Thomas does. If that guy can get his shit together and come back and play the football that he was playing last year, I think Breeze starts heating up with him. Emmanuel Sanders comes back. I think that they could win that division.
I don't know about you. I don't think the Saints defense really impresses me.
The Bucs defense really impresses me.
They do.
Bucs have a sickening run defense.
The run defense, I think they got a good pass rush on Derek Carr.
Oh, yeah, Shaq Barrett. Vita Vea is a good run stopper.
The Raiders couldn't run the ball. They couldn't run the ball at all. Mm-mm. They couldn't. Josh Jacobs only had like 20 yards.
Do against them? Nothing.
I don't think he did anything, considering that they fucking blew the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm. Their defense has been really good. I've been seeing stuff saying that like they're like a top team, like top 3 team in the NFL, and I can really see that.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, I think you got. I think the Chiefs, probably Pittsburgh. I think you got to throw Pittsburgh in there.
Chiefs, Pittsburgh, and Seattle. And those are the 3 best teams right now.
Chiefs,
and then after that,
probably Tampa Bay. Who else?
I think the 49ers.
Chicago.
What?
Where do you throw Chicago?
Chicago.
They're the 1 seed in the NFC.
Even after the loss?
I think so, yeah.
Wow. But they don't pass the eye test at all.
Oh God, no.
That's a team I think we can beat in the playoffs. I mean, that's the one team I think the Eagles can beat.
Oh yeah, if we hosted them, I think we win.
I think that's the one team that you will see the Eagles beat in the playoffs. Because I think Doug kind of knows where
this team is going to be in the playoffs. That's disgusting. I hope
I don't understand it. I really don't.
We play. That'll just be fun.
So here's another question for you.
All right.
What do you think about this team at the trade deadline? Meaning the Eagles. The team, this team meaning the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay. I think you need, more O-line depth. Trade for some offensive linemen, interior offensive linemen, if you can get them for like late round picks.
And that's the one thing that's the number one thing that they need.
Who are some big names that are on the trade block?
I
saw Julio's name, but I think that got shut down. I don't see.
Yeah. I think the big one for the Eagles, at least, and they were talking about it today, was Avery Williamson from the Jets, the linebacker.
Yeah. He. I mean, who do we even have? Nate Gary? Is he our?
Nate Gary. Is this bad?
We need linebackers. We need linebackers.
Is this really bad that I don't know who the Eagles have at linebacker?
Yeah, it is. That clearly means we need linebackers, and
you do. Like, I mean, you don't have Kamu-Grugier-Hill anymore.
Where's he? Jacksonville?
Miami.
I
mean, obviously the best thing about this defense is the line. And it's always been and always will be. Brandon Graham is like on leaderboards for like quarterback pressures and sacks.
Cox has been hurt a lot, but
yeah, and he's been double teamed. And I think Brandon Graham, and this is so important. Like I was so afraid after the 2018 season that we weren't going to get Brandon Graham back. Because I feel like outside of maybe Malcolm Jenkins and Fletcher Cox, he was the smartest.
He's the most impactful guy on that Super Bowl.
Most impactful. That's a guy you need on this team. You need him.
I feel like he's a locker room guy too. He's like
he's a locker room guy. He's a personality.
I didn't like getting rid of Jenkins at all. I wanted to keep him around.
Here's the thing. I think a lot of it was the contract. I think he wanted to go back to a place he was familiar with, and that was New Orleans. And I think he wanted to get some authority. Because, you have a lot of those like younger guys on that team. Michael Thomas is a younger guy, like 4th or 5th year in the league. Alvin Kamara, 4th or 3rd or 4th, 5th year in the league. Outside of him and Breeze,
he wanted to go somewhere where he could be like a leader.
Yeah.
Still.
And
he wanted to keep that leader role that he had here, but just not here.
And I don't think a lot of people know this. He won a Super Bowl with the Saints.
Yeah, he's got 2
rings. He won against.
He was a rookie, I'm pretty sure.
The Colts. Yeah, he was his rookie year. And then Chip Kelly brought him in.
Yeah, that was one of his better signings.
Yeah. But back to the Eagles, outside of Malcolm Jenkins and Fletcher Cox in 2018, Brandon Graham was
the guy,
one of the guys. I mean, fuck Christ's sake, he had the strip sack with Brady. He recovered,
he stripped him.
He stripped
Barnett.
Yeah. So this is a guy you need on the team, and seeing how he's been playing this year, he's been playing with a fire, and he's in the top of leaderboards in sacks. I mean, this is. You gotta be impressed with the way that this defensive line has been playing in the last few years. And I feel like
every year.
Yeah, and I feel like we're starting to get things.
We're at the bottom of rushing yards allowed.
Yeah.
Every year.
I think the Slay signing was a must-needed thing for this team.
Yeah, we needed it.
We needed
like a dude, like a real player at corner.
Yeah. I think he was on Darius Slayton a lot. I think he was lined up against Darius Slayton a lot on Thursday.
He didn't do much.
He had to put a blanket over him, dude. Yeah. He put a fucking blanket on Darius Slayton.
Shepard had a pretty decent day, but nothing.
Shepard always kills us.
Yeah. What did he have, like 60 and a touchdown?
Yeah. He caught the touchdown that made it 21-10.
Yeah, we need Avery Williamson. I would really like that because he would immediately be our best linebacker.
Easily. And the Jets are definitely selling.
Oh, yeah.
What do they have?
Yeah, they're just fucking. I saw Quinn Williams was on the block. Like 3rd overall pick from last year. But then I think those got shut down. They traded Jamal Adams.
Yeah, they had nothing. And Adam Gase has just been an overall failure.
How does he still have a job? It makes no sense.
And the sad thing is, I think Sam Darnold can succeed in the NFL.
Me too. I think he could
under the right coach.
He's got no weapons there. Their starting running back is like 38-year-old Frank Gore.
And they did not use Le'Veon Bell at all.
God. The offensive line on that team is like putrid.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
And and this is not a this year thing or a last year thing. This has been since they lost in the AFC Championship game against Pittsburgh in 2010.
They had that 1 year.
Outside of that, the only really good thing that's happened to the Jets is Super Bowl III.
Joe Namath.
Yeah.
That's
overrated the only good thing, and that wasn't even supposed to happen.
Most overrated player of all time.
Yeah.
I think by far. He did nothing. His stats aren't even like good at all.
But that's what a lot of people say about Nick Foles.
What?
I mean, he had a Super Bowl.
Nick Foles isn't a Hall of Famer.
I mean, probably no.
If Namath doesn't win that Super Bowl, he's not a Hall of Famer.
But here's the thing. I think a lot of it is he's the face of that franchise.
Yeah, because he won.
All these years later, which is fucking.
If they weren't like such huge underdogs and he was like, I'm guaranteeing a win or whatever the fuck he said, if that didn't happen and they just won the game, like, But you
got to remember how the people that grew up and the people that watched.
He was the guy.
That Super Bowl was, or like that audience back then, because those are things that were really important to them. Yeah, like people guaranteeing wins now doesn't mean shit.
Future. Nick Foles in the future, people are going to be like, he stinks, but
yeah. But I'm just telling you, like, guaranteeing a win in 1960 or whatever it was meant a lot more than it does now.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why. Anyway, back to 2020 NFL. The 49ers, I think, are back.
Yeah,
they're showing how we thought they were going to be, even without some of their big names. I thought the Rams last week were going to roll them over.
They have a new guy at running back every week.
Yeah. The Rams, I thought were going to roll them over on Sunday Night Football. They go to New England and they just trounce on the Patriots.
Yeah, Cam did not look good.
They're back, right?
I don't think they're not going to win that division. I
don't think they are.
All four of those teams could. I don't know if they could all win a playoff game, but they could all make the playoffs.
I think they can all do some damage in the playoffs. Yeah.
I think
Seattle's the best team.
Seattle's the best team. Arizona is really, really, really good. Kyler Murray is getting MVP votes right now if the season ended.
And you want to hear something? The scary part is the Eagles play the Seahawks. They got lucky against the 49ers because everyone was hurt. The Rams beat them. And on November 30th, we bring the Seahawks to the link.
Oh, God. That's
on Monday Night Football.
That's Monday night?
That's a Monday night game.
We're going to get embarrassed in front of the whole country. They're going to steamroll.
Probably be like back in black again. They had to pick their back in black game, so they can't do back in black 2 straight weeks against the Cowboys, so they'll probably wear green this weekend. So then the next time they'll bring them out is the Monday night game.
Next week's a bye, right?
Yeah, and then they go to the Meadowlands.
That's kind of weird, having playing the same team twice in 4 weeks.
I mean, 2014 that happened because they the
happens sometimes, but
yeah. But it's kind of weird, like that the Giants are always a team that you play in the last few weeks of the season.
I feel like
away.
Football team would be a team that you play twice in 4
Yeah.
weeks. Not Dallas, ever.
Yeah.
That shouldn't happen.
No. Yeah. I mean, it would always be weird if we had a week 1 matchup against the Giants or the Cowboys.
Always Washington.
Like, no, I just don't think that would be. Like, I don't want to open with the Cowboys. I don't want to open
Washington
with the Giants.
A good opening team to like play with.
The perfect medium would be Washington.
Yeah.
And that's what it's been the last couple years.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mind it. I think we play Washington week 17.
We play them week 1 and week 17.
Yeah, so we open and close. And if you think about it, that could be for the division, week 17. That could be for the fucking division.
Oh, God. And like 5 wins.
I mean, we say this now. I mean, anything can happen.
We say it now jokingly until it actually comes around.
Yeah. Or if it's a blatant false reality.
Yeah, or that game is completely meaningless.
And hey, I think it can be like that. Because if you think about it, the last couple of years, the Eagles needed that win against the Giants to kind of propel them. That home win against the Giants, 2017. Jake Elliott doesn't kick that field goal. I think both those teams. What?
Was that Foles' first game? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about the Elliott field goal game.
Oh, the Elliott. Oh, okay. Like the first.
I'm saying home wins against the Giants in the last 3 years have propelled the Eagles to go into the playoffs.
Yeah, the first one was like a momentum boost.
Yeah, so you had the Elliott field goal game. If Jake Elliott doesn't hit that field goal, the Giants win that game. They probably are in a different spot than they are now.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles probably don't win the Super Bowl, in my opinion.
Well, I think we would have had to go to Minnesota, right? If we lost that game, we probably would have had to go.
But I just think it changes the whole complexity of that season.
Oh, yeah, that was a season-changing play.
You look to 2018. I think Carson Wentz led a game-winning drive that game.
Probably.
That set the Eagles up to go to the playoffs. They lost that game against Dallas, but yet they still found a way in and they won a playoff game.
That year was so dumb.
And then you had last year, Monday night game against the Giants, overtime win, led to a couple straight divisional wins, and then bam. So, I mean, I think it's not crazy to think that could propel this team because like I said, and I think you agreed, I don't think the Eagles are far off.
No, I mean, they're not going to be contending, I don't think, but
absolutely not.
They could win, 10 games.
I mean, they can easily win the divisional games.
If the roster was all together, everybody was healthy, I think this is like a 9 to 11 win football team.
I mean, you can still win against Cleveland, probably. You might still win against Arizona. You're not fucking beating you're not beating the Seahawks. You're not beating the Saints.
No.
You're not beating Green Bay.
No. Yeah, those teams will smoke you, regardless.
Or maybe our divisional games, sprinkle in Arizona, sprinkle Cleveland. But it might not happen that way. Like maybe this is the year we beat Seattle.
No,
maybe this is the year Carson Wentz has won in Green Bay before.
Yeah.
I mean, you just never know. You never know with this football team.
You really don't.
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know what's going to happen Sunday night. I think we win, but do we
win big?
I mean, I can see us blowing them out. I see it being like a 27-9 score.
27-9.
I think it's going to be a 27-9.
I'm going. I'm going 33-17.
33-17. I can see it. I think it's going to be one of those games where it might be close to start and then the Eagles pull away.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in your case, it could be like the Eagles pull the fuck out of them. And then Dallas scores a couple late touchdowns.
I think we're going to get up early and then just kind of keep the foot on the gas.
But at the same time, I could see this. I can see Doug Peterson coaching down.
Oh, I could totally see him losing this game.
Coaching down. And we're up by a score.
I could see Dallas having a shot at winning this game at some point.
I'm not going to let us go 51 minutes and not mention how fucking bad the fourth and short, or the third and fourth calls are, and the 2-point conversion calls. Can we mention this? Can we mention how bad
he just doesn't know
2-point conversion calls are?
He doesn't understand short yardage.
Like Carson Wentz. I understand your run blocking is not good. I understand you have Boston Scott in the fucking backfield.
Mm-hmm.
But you're taking Carson Wentz and you're just dragging him to the side. And he gets bottled up.
It doesn't make any sense.
Can you fucking explain that to me?
I can't. I don't think Doug could.
And this is where you're missing. This is where you're missing your LeGarrette Blount or your Jordan Howard.
Yeah, short yardage.
But yet, you have number 30, Corey Clement, sitting there.
He doesn't run those plays on 3rd and 2.
But you want Corey Clement running that ball out of your 3 backs.
Probably, maybe. Yeah, if Miles Sanders isn't available. But yet,
Miles Sanders, I think Miles Sanders is quick, but you need a little bit of, you need a bigger guy.
Yeah, we don't have any power in our backfield.
So, I think to win this game, the play calling was just absurd. The sequence before halftime was horrible. Of the Giants game.
Mm-hmm.
I think you need the play calling there. You just need overall execution and focus.
Yeah, I think Doug just needs to stop being too cute. Doug, he tries to outthink everybody. It's simple.
And I think it's
getting really dumb this game down very simply.
I think it's getting crazy. I understand, and I'm not a hater of going for it. On a lot of these 4th down plays.
Yeah, but if you're going for it, you better have a fucking play to get it.
Especially with the inconsistency of Jake Elliott. But
yeah,
you need to figure out what the fuck you're doing on 4th down.
Yeah, you better know what you're doing. If you're going for it, you better have a play that you are supremely confident is going to get you.
And you need to, and this kind of goes back to the Pittsburgh game.
Mm-hmm.
You go for it on that 4th and 5, and not put Elliott out for a 57-yard field goal.
Yeah,
when you have the wind from the Allegheny River coming in.
There's no point in kicking a field goal there, and then you get what was it, false start?
Yeah,
and then it's out of the reach anyway.
Yeah, dude, it's just so you need the play calling. You need to stop the run, and you need to just scare the fuck out of Ben DiNucci.
Yeah. Those are the
all
keys.
3. Those are my keys to the game.
Better play calling.
You need to focus.
Yeah.
Because
there's a very easy way to beat this team. And if they don't do it, it's going to fall on Doug.
It's going to be so bad, dude. It's going to be so bad if they don't pull this out. All right, so we're at 55 minutes.
You want to get into game picks?
Real quick, I want to mention. So, I know you're not a college football guy. You're not a baseball guy. You're not a college football guy. I don't know why the fuck you do this thing, but I'm playing. Ohio State is playing Penn State this weekend.
Because he's getting rolled. Justin Fields is really good.
And the Big Ten started. And I love the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's outside of me watching Notre Dame, I'm watching a Big Ten game.
Yeah.
Speaking of Notre Dame, they blew the fuck out of Pitt. I just thought I'd tell you that.
Congratulations.
Back in the thing. But out of 1 week of Big Ten football,
mm-hmm.
you saw a lot.
Yeah.
Like you saw Rutgers beat Michigan State. You saw Michigan, who I thought was going to get their ass pummeled because everyone decided to opt out by Minnesota. They beat Minnesota pretty good.
Penn State lost to who?
Minnesota. Or Michigan beat Minnesota. Michigan State lost to Rutgers.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Wisconsin's quarterback blow up Illinois, and then he gets tested positive for COVID. Guess how many weeks he's out for? He's out for 3 weeks.
3 weeks? Cam was out for what, 1?
Yeah. So you have that, and then you have Penn State lose to Indiana.
So out of 1 week, really.
I mean, I just missed the fucking Big Ten.
Yeah, I wish I watched that Penn State game. It seemed like it was a pretty fun ending, unless you're a Penn State fan.
I think it's going to be very interesting to see this game Saturday night because Penn State, as much as everyone thinks they're going to get rolled, I think they have the star power to do something, maybe keep it close. And I think this kind of gets them back into it a little bit if they were to knock off an Ohio State. And that's the type of game that Penn State kind of needs to win. But on the outside looking in, I don't think it looks good for Penn State at all. At all.
No.
And Ohio State is on the tier. They are the fucking class of the Big Ten. They are the class of the Big Ten. They've always been the class of the Big Ten. And I think they're going to be the class of the Big Ten for a while.
Yeah, they're one of the top schools in the nation every year.
So I thought we'd bring that up. And now let's get into our picks.
All right. So, let's see. We said Falcons, Panthers.
Yeah, hold on one sec. I just got to plug my charger in.
Okay.
All right, let's get it rolling. So we both picked Carolina over Atlanta.
Steelers, Ravens. Jeez, that is going to be. That's a huge.
Let's say that for one of the last ones.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's the biggest. That's the biggest game of the week. All right. Minnesota versus Green Bay. Green Bay. Obviously the better team. I think Minnesota's been a disappointment, so we're going to go pick Packers.
Yeah, Green Bay.
Cincinnati and Tennessee. Now, Cincinnati played tough against Cleveland. I thought they were going to win that game. They almost won that game. Yeah, Tennessee's going to go out for some redemption.
Yeah. Derrick Henry's going to eat the Bengals defense alive.
That's a Tennessee win. I'm not gonna. Let's just skip Jets Chiefs because
that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
how do they get scheduled together?
It's the way the scheduling works.
That's just gonna be an absolute blowout.
Yeah. Colts and Lions. I think that's gonna be a pretty good game. I don't know about you.
I'm gonna take Detroit.
I think Detroit too. I really like the way they're playing. I think DeAndre Swift had a great game.
Yeah, he's been good lately. I also don't like Indianapolis.
Yeah, no, I
don't know. I don't really see. There's nothing. They're like boring.
Yeah. And I think they were more of an interesting team with Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, Philip Rivers is he's not you know. He's just falling off.
Yeah. Rams, Dolphins, Rams. Raiders, Browns. That's a good game.
That could be a good game.
That is a good game.
I'm gonna go with the Raiders, I think.
I like Cleveland. I really do. I think they had a big win last week. The Raiders are kind of beat up. I think the Buccaneers, Tampa Bay just kind of went in there and just drilled their shit. I think I really like Cleveland in this game.
I'm gonna take Oakland just because I think
yeah,
with Odell out, it's just like another. They have so many like. Cleveland's got like a really good depth of receiver.
Yeah.
But,
it's just like I just like the Browns better. This is a big game. Patriots and Bills.
That is a big game.
I'm taking Buffalo because I just
think Cam starting for New England.
I believe so. I'm picking Buffalo just because it's a safe pick, and the game is in Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Buffalo.
Yeah.
You know what? No, I'm gonna take New England.
You think Belichick's gonna outcoach McDermott?
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it was. I don't think Belichick's losing to Buffalo.
Yeah. Chargers in Denver. I'm picking LA.
Yeah.
Or the Chargers. I don't see them as LA. I see the Rams more as LA. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, they're. I stopped calling them San Diego, but
yeah, no. Yeah, I'm picking LA.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
49ers and Seahawks. That could be another good game. There's a lot of good games. I'm really liking this lineup.
That's a good. Jesus Christ, this is a good week.
Great week. Yeah, I'll go Seattle. That game is in Seattle. Saints and Bears.
That could all. I'm gonna go.
The game's in Chicago.
I gotta go New Orleans.
I agree. Monday Night Football. Tampa Bay and
a landslide.
Giants. Yeah, I mean,
not even close.
All right. We'll pick Steelers and Ravens. Game of the week. I don't understand why this is a Monday night game.
It should definitely be prime time. Why is it a 1 o'clock game?
This is the game that I think everybody should watch. This is a rivalry. Pittsburgh is a very good football team. I was wrong about them. They were the number one thing I was wrong about this season. I thought Ben Roethlisberger was going to be complete dog shit. After getting hurt last year, I thought Lamar Jackson was going to take a step back. And can you agree he took a step back?
Mm-hmm. He definitely hasn't been MVP level.
No, I mean, I think
he hasn't been bad, but it's not like he's losing football games, but he hasn't been,
Yeah,
unreal.
But I think if you force him to throw the ball, he's not effective at all. And
he's still a running quarterback before anything else.
But I think that's what separates him from, or it's been separating him from Russell Wilson and Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
But the Ravens added Ngakoue this week.
I like that move.
I
like Ngakoue a lot.
I think the Steelers get their first loss this week.
You're picking Baltimore?
I'm picking Baltimore. It's in their home stadium. It's their first game with fans.
This is going to be such a good game, dude. This better be a good game.
Pittsburgh. But I don't think it's going to be the death.
I think I'm going to agree with you. I think Baltimore hands Pittsburgh their first loss of the season.
Yeah, I don't think this is – I think this game comes down to what Baltimore can do. And I think, Pittsburgh's offense can be shut down.
They're off. It's the defense more than it is the offense for Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
it's a defense
unbelievable. A game where whoever has the better defense wins, and by the looks of it, I think Pittsburgh can easily shut down Baltimore, but at the same time, I think Baltimore can shut down Pittsburgh.
Defensive game.
And you know what I think is going to be a big factor in this game?
What?
Justin Tucker, the special teams. Because if Baltimore can get to the 40-yard line of Pittsburgh,
3 points on the board.
That's 3 points. And so I think the sole reason, and you're going to think I'm nuts, the sole reason why the Ravens are going to win this game is because of Justin Tucker. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the type of dude that'll win you a game if you need him to.
Easily. So that's where I'm going with that. Eagles, Cowboys. Eagles are going to win 27-9. I said. You said 33-17. We already discussed that in pretty much full length.
Yep.
So, any final thoughts?
I think that's everything. I think I got everything out.
I think we're in for a good week of football.
Yes, this should be a fun week.
A really good week of football. I mean, this is all you can ask for. I mean, the only thing that's bad about it is you wish that Baltimore and Pittsburgh was a night game.
Yeah.
You wish it was a night game, or you wish it was a 4:25 game.
Mm-hmm. At least, definitely not a 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, and with Baltimore and Pittsburgh, that's probably going to be the best rivalry you're going to see this year. And I think the loser of this game is not dead. It's far from dead.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Because all it takes is a loss from the other team.
If Pittsburgh wins, they'll be 7-0, and then Baltimore will be 4-2.
They'll be 5-2.
Yeah, 5-2. My bad.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
Mm-mm. It'll be a low scoring game, but I think it'll be close.
And if the Steelers win, I could see Baltimore going to Heinz Field whenever they play there and winning, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore wins, I can see the Steelers winning in Heinz Field.
Yeah, I can see them splitting.
Yeah, so this could be – I mean, this is going to be 2 games with these 2 teams that are going to be very important for the playoff picture.
Huge.
And for the league.
Yeah, this could determine like the 1 seat. This could determine who gets the bye in the
yeah.
The playoffs. There's only one
That's
team
for Eagles Cowboys.
Also huge for playoff positioning.
Yeah.
The 4 seed.
You know, the Saints game is going to be big against Chicago.
That's another huge game.
49ers and Seahawks is going to be an important game. The Bills and the Patriots is going to be a big game. So you have all these divisional game, like all these big divisional games right here in the middle of the season.
Mm-hmm.
That could start to turn the tide. And then once we get to week 12, week 11, week 12, you know, we're going to look back on these games and you're going to think, oh, how much of a difference this made, or how much of a difference this didn't make at all.
Mm-hmm. This week is going to be a turning point for a lot of teams.
This is one of the most important weeks of the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
All right. With that, we wrap up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Leave a like and subscribe.
Oh my God. Right. Next week.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Hopefully we're talking about a blowout.
Another Eagles win.
Yeah.
How we're running away with the division with 3 wins.
Yeah, dude. I hope. All right. See you, Mike.
All right. Have a good one.